Hey guys, I am recording from my mobile device because I didn't want to pull out my laptop and the camera and all that. But there's been some big time news in the last week or so, since maybe a little bit more since I last uploaded a video. And I just wanted to kind of go over some of that stuff just off the top of my head. I really don't have any notes or anything like that. But I want to talk first to my Xbox fanboys out there. You know who you are. I've been screaming this for years now, it seems like. Literally years. But it seems like Xbox just loves to prove me more right again and again. As you've all probably have already seen that new campaign ad that this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, that is an Xbox, everything is an Xbox, which means nothing is an Xbox. If everything is an Xbox, then nothing is an Xbox. The future of Xbox is going to be a platform, just like a random Blu-ray or DVD player that you pick up that has Netflix and Hulu preloaded onto it, and you're able to just stream, use it as a streaming device. And yeah, that's Xbox's future, whether you like it or not. You can hit that dislike button down below if you don't agree. But it is what it is. We can see it. The writing, excuse me. The writing is on the wall. Yeah. So their future is basically they want everything that streams to become an Xbox. They may. I still believe Microsoft will put out some kind of a digital box. In fact, they showed off at the recent Microsoft event a PC, cloud-based PC. Streaming applications and programs, and I can see them taking that box itself, rebranding it, slapping an Xbox label on it, and selling us that box for, $150, $200, and it'll be an Xbox, right? It'll be the best compatible Xbox Game Pass experience, that's formatted for it, and perhaps gets incremental updates with minimal interior memory. They may slap a hard drive on there or a flash memory if they do want to sell physical games, but the future for Xbox will be Game Pass. It will be streaming. They want you on the hook for monthly subscriptions. You will pay to play the games. You will not own anything, and they want you to be happy with that. All right, so there's that. With that said, for any Sony fanboys out there, you guys are next. You guys are next. Now, why do I say that? Because Sony's not going to sit there and take huge financial losses on hardware going forward if they're seeing that their main competition isn't going to do the same thing. They're taking notes, and if you don't believe me, they sneakily brought out an update for the PlayStation Portal, which has been, in my opinion, the biggest piece of trash that they've released. Essentially just making a Wii U gamepad, and you purchase it separately. You needed to have a PlayStation 5 in order to stream games to it. But Sony's learned. Sony has learned. They're taking a little sneak page from Microsoft. What are they doing? Yeah, there's an update for the PlayStation Portal that now lets you stream games to your PlayStation Portal from the cloud. No need to own a PlayStation 5. You got a PSN account, you bought some games, you got Wi-Fi, you can stream it onto your device. So, you know how a lot of Switch fans out there have been able to play some Resident Evil games that the Switch wouldn't, tech specs wise would never be able to play, or Control, for example, that's available on Switch, all through cloud gaming. You can purchase the game, you own it, but it's all on a server. You go on a server and you essentially just play this game on the cloud. So yeah, and here we have the Switch, which is now playing a PS5 caliber and an Xbox Series caliber game on the cloud, right? Portal can now do that. The PlayStation Portal is now doing that. It doesn't have all of the dashboards, and party chat, for example, is not available on it yet. But this is, you're beta testing it for them, guys. This is what everybody out there is doing right now. You are beta testers for Sony's online platform, their streaming platform that will eventually on the PlayStation 7 get rid of hardware as well. And if you don't think that's the future, you're dreaming. They're already selling you the hardware without the CD drives. They don't want you to own physical. So what's next is they're going to cut out everybody else. They're going to be a platform. Third parties will pay them a fee to put their games on there. They'll get, they'll split any revenues from streaming the same way that Netflix does with movies, the same way that Spotify and Pandora does with streaming music as well. It's how artists make their money nowadays. But yeah, so that is the future, guys. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. You may not want to agree with me, but I have been on the money with this stuff. And then we have Nintendo, who I always say will be the last ones, kicking and screaming to the digital future. Streaming is probably not on their sites for at least a decade. And yeah, they're probably just gonna stick to their niche. They're doing that. Switch 2, which looks to be completely backwards compatible with your Switch library. They're already saying that Switch Online will carry over. So hopefully the N64, GBA, SNES, Sega Genesis stuff that's already on there will also carry over. And and maybe they'll expand on that with GameCube compatibility in the future. With that out of the way, the next thing that I want to kind of tackle and briefly touch upon for the end of this video is, of course, the controversy, right? The big controversy of the Video Game Awards. Holy crap, they announced the Game of the Year for the Video Game of the Awards nominees. They've announced all the nominees, but let's be real. There really weren't too many great picks to choose from. There was probably 3 or 4 that we knew were going to make it up there because they're really the only top tier 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s that came out there. So earlier in the year, when Astrobot came out, myself and Chris, if you guys watched the show, you guys saw that we talked about Astrobot and how it was getting, little tidbits of, hey, this might be up there for Game of the Year. That probably, I haven't played it, but from everything that I've seen, that would be my safe pick for Game of the Year. And I honestly would love to see like a 3D platformer take Game of the Year. That would be really dope, and really dope for Sony, believe it or not, because they're not, they have good platformers and like Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that, but this is like a real opportunity for them to make this their mascot. Sony really never really had one since Crash Bandicoot, way back in the day, and they don't own that. But I digress. That wasn't like the big thing. We got some B tier, some B plus games in there, like Black Myth, Wukong, I think it's called. Yeah, that got really good reviews, but it was a B plus game. But what's the controversy? Downloadable content, Elden Ring DLC is nominated for Game of the Year. What? So first of all, it's not a standalone title, so this is bullshit. Excuse me, but it is. And it's also a slap in the face to all the games that came out in 2024 that you could have put in there. This game is a 2022 game. So in order for you to even experience Elden Ring's downloadable content Game of the Year nominee, you have to have Elden Rings from 2022, a 2-year-old game. You have to have beaten a very specific boss in the game in order to then purchase this DLC and unlock the new story mode. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's fantastic. I'm sure people love it. I'm sure it's a great expansion to an otherwise already great game. But it is that. It is an expansion to a game that already came out 2 years ago. There's nothing... I don't get it. It's going to be controversial. If this thing wins Game of the Year, in my opinion, the Game Awards, they lose all credibility. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think that Elden Ring should be up there as a Game of the Year nominee. And of course, let me know what you guys think about Xbox's future and Sony for that matter. Do you think that I'm way off base? Obviously, with the Microsoft stuff, it's they're advertising it. How else can you frame that? And with the Sony stuff, am I off base, or am I dreaming, or is the writing on the wall also? As always, thank you guys for joining me here at Starflag Media Gaming. I am still in Colombia right now, in Santa Marta on the coast. I will be here for maybe another week or so, and then hopefully return back to my home and continue to post from there. Please hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think it is important for the channel to grow. And as always, I'm Anthony. Thank you guys for joining us. See you guys next time.